All right, good morning. As we go for our walk here, I wanted to ask and also make a statement uh, why people on the carnivore, it's not really a question, I'll make the statement. On the carnivore diet, we don't really care about calories, calories in, calories out, um, this calorie deficit thing, counting calories, doesn't matter. Counting macros, not so much either. Um, And it's funny because all these fitness guys, that's one of their biggest measurements that they talk about, and how they want you to count so that you can see the progress, or you can try to plan for the amount of, you know, fat or pounds that you're losing. Well, for us carnivores, yes, I can see how they're used to that, and it's a measurement tool. Uh, yes, it's not a very accurate tool, but it works. I mean, it there we go. Uh, I mean, it can be helpful, and especially since a lot of them are fitness uh, guides or trainers, fitness trainers. I was looking for the word there. Um, you know, they need their clients to be able to measure something who they're not used to working out, they're not used to um, eating less, and or eating a good diet, because everybody's on the standard American diet, sad, which is a nice word for it. So for carnivores, we aren't really in that phase. um, we're not doing those 6 or 7 snacks. We're not snacking every hour. We're not carb dependent, because the other thing that a lot of fitness guys will say is that, oh, you need to build up your carbs if you want to build up your muscles. You need a lot of carbs. You need your fiber. Um, you know, uh, you don't. But for I understand it, because for the majority of the people out there, they are they're so carb dependent, um, and they are used to all the doctors telling them they need carbs, um, they need uh, to what's the word I'm looking for? They need to watch their the calories in and calories out and all this other stuff. Uh, but as carnivores, we don't. We become fat adapted, um, and where our body is almost in a what these mosquitoes on me or something. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even say it. Hi, I'm David, and I like to take you guys on these walks with me, um, as I try to leave my pity party of 5 years behind me after my accident. Uh, for those who haven't been watching my other videos, I had an accident where I fell off a roof. I was a roof inspector, and I shattered my calcaneus, my heel bone. It's now been fused, so I got 2 metal rods going up there, and um, it's I've got a torn abdominal, messed up back, all these fun stuff. I walk with a cane. That's why you see me shift from side to side. I'm like, oh. Anyway, back to the carnivore diet, and why all this other stuff that's in mainstream fitness and mainstream um, weight loss doesn't apply to us. Um, and we're finding out, more and more people are finding out that you don't really need it. But let me qualify that, because I've watched and I listen to a lot of content creators who are personal trainers and fitness guys, um, that and I like them. I like their content, because they are speaking to the average American, or whatever country the person's in, but has a Western diet. And that diet is just horrible. And they're used to, because I did this too. I was snacking all the time, all the way up until like midnight. I'd be eating something, um, salt, saltines and Doritos and Lay's potato chips. Shouldn't be saying brands, but you know, all this stuff that's over processed and everything, even regular foods. It came in boxes and stuff until I found out I had fatty liver, and I got my little wake up call, and I have, you know, plaque in my arteries. And then everything was snowballing so that it put me on this journey. And then I discovered carnivore because I've heard about it for a couple of years because Jordan Peterson's daughter, Micaiah, I believe. I apologize if I didn't get her name right. She suffered from all kinds of things, and she went on a very strict carnivore diet. I'm about 95% carnivore because I have my coffee and stuff. So what I was saying with the fitness guys that I watch and stuff, they're great guys. There's a couple that I started watching, and you know, they're just, you know, Instagram gurus, or I want to call that out, or they're, you know, YouTube fitness gurus. They are just selling some type of program, or you know, you can be a personal trainer and sell your fitness program. That's good because that's a business. But you have these other gurus that are just making content to make content. They're giving crap advice and saying things that don't do it. And so there's a difference. And so those fitness guys that are doing that, they're working with your average Joe, and a person who has probably tried different diets and hasn't been successful. They've tried to go into the gym and everything, and they haven't been successful. Now, one thing that I'm noticing, now I'm still a newbie when it comes to carnivore. I've only been a carnivore for about 6 months, half a year. So, but the changes, I mean, I don't have high blood pressure anymore. That's just crazy. I'm sure it has a little bit to do with carnivore, but also with my exercising that I'm doing. My testosterone levels jumped in 1 month up 100 points. So, again, being carnivore is like next level stuff. If you can handle it, because it is a restrictive diet. But I don't look at it that way because I guess from my military upbringing, oh, little bugger, did you see him? Anyway, from my military upbringing, I was always taught from a young age that you need to hit the like button and subscribe and leave me a comment, you know, yes sir. All right. So I never was a big fan of eating. I like good food, and see if this will make sense. I like good food. I love great food, you know, great tasting food. But to me, eating was always a chore. It was something that we, you know, you had to do, and it took time. I was always like, go, go, go. You know, when you're airborne and everything, you're always running around. And then even outside of that, you know, as Americans, we're always taught to go, 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 and never stop and smell the roses. I've changed in that respect because I'm always admiring the flowers, the butterflies, and those stuff. So as for a carnivore, that really works for me. Love that tree. Isn't that squirrel? And because it's simple, it's not complicated. I'll have, when I'm eating in the late morning, I'll usually, if I'm eating 2 times a day, I'll have about 4 or 5 eggs with a beef patty or two. And then in the late afternoon, around, these guys are bugging me today. In the late afternoon, about between 3 and 5, I'll have a steak, sometimes a pork chop, and then another 2 beef patties. And that'll be my 2 meals a day. I might throw in a 32 ounce of my protein shake, so either 1 scoop or 2 scoops, depending on my protein that I want to get. Now the only macro I do count, because I'm also getting ready to start working on my muscle side, is that I look at 1 gram of protein per my ideal body weight. So yes, in that respect I count macros, but that's just because I just need a basic idea about if I'm giving enough fuel and the building material to my muscles, if that makes sense. And that's the only thing I do there. Now on my OMAD days, which are at least 2 times a week, if not 3, and I shifted up because I don't want my body to get adapted to 1 meal a day, 2 meals a day and stuff. I always want it to think, you know, we're not in starvation mode, but this is just a natural course of life, and that's how the body we used to operate. You know, we hunter-gatherers and hunters only. You're not going to catch a meal every day. That's why I also do intermediate fasting. And then when you do, you might eat once until you're satiated, and then that's it. Or sometimes you'll be able to get a couple of meals a day. So that's how our body is adapted for that over hundreds of thousands of years. And that's the way, from my research and everything that I've seen, works the best for me, at least. I think it works the best for most people, but you know, you do you, boo. Like that. I'm hip, I'm down, I'm with it. Chugga, 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 chugga. Anyway, hey, did you see my shirt today? Because I'm David, that's why. Anyway, there we go. So that's what I just wanted to talk about, a little quick one, that why carnivores, we don't really worry about that stuff. Now, the thing says, oh well, how do you know you're going to lose weight? I am, ooh, that's a cool shot. I am down to 189 pounds, 188. It's, you know, it's bouncing around for a few days, and depending on the meal and when I eat the meal, it might jump up to 191. But basically, October of last year, when I started carnivore, I was 242 pounds. At one time I was 257 pounds during the summer. So, sorry. Since I've been on carnivore, and with the exercising that I'm doing now, with the walking and everything, I've dropped over 50 pounds. So, and I didn't count calories. I just looked at my eating habits. I cut out all those over-processed foods and everything. And yeah, I feel better. I still have, for some reason, some brain fog. Sometimes, yeah, as you notice on these videos, I might not be super clear, but that I think is maybe some of the hormones that I have that are maybe still out of whack because of my visceral fat and stuff. So, different reasons. I'm looking into that. I hope it's not the D thing or A thing, where your mind starts forgetting things. But walking has been proven to help not eliminate, but help slow down dementia and Alzheimer's if you didn't know what I meant by the DNA thing. There you go. Now, of course, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a fitness guru, so I'm just sharing with you guys what I do. All right, don't take this as you got to do that. You gotta don't listen to any YouTuber or social media person. Do your own research. All right. Yeah, and that was the main thing I wanted to talk about with being on the carnivore diet and how it's somewhat easier for us to get back into shape than it is for the average American. But I don't want you guys to be average. That I know even if you're eating the average American diet and you're doing things, you guys that are watching these videos, you're not average. You're watching these because you've been down a similar road than I, and I hope I provide some service to you and some value, because if I do, that's I'm finding I'm getting more joy from that than I am from anything else right now. So I love being of service. So I'll end it on that, and I want to thank you guys. You guys are awesome. So you have a blessed day.